Hello. In the preceding chapter, we introduced one-dimensional arrays. This chapter, we will introduce multi-dimensional arrays. First, we'll look at a two-dimensional array. A two-dimensional array resembles a table with rows and columns. A two-dimensional array in Java is actually a one-dimensional array, and each element in the array is another one-dimensional array. So that is two-dimensional. Here's a quick example. Here, this is a table. You can now define a two-dimensional array for the distance. Look, this is double brackets. There's two brackets. For a single dimensional array, we use one bracket, and now for two-dimensional, we use double brackets. And this is the array initializer, initializing this two-dimensional array with the rows. Each row has all the values in the column. You can consider that a one-dimensional array is nested inside a two-dimensional array. To declare an array reference variable for two-dimensional array, you write this array reference variable, the type, element type for the array, brackets with two-dimensional. For example, for this matrix, it's int matrix, brackets and brackets. You can create array using new, same as for one-dimensional. So this is for two-dimensional. It's new int brackets 5, assign the array you just created into matrix. Now, by default, all the values, if this is a numeric array, all these initial values are 0. Now this is, you're creating a two-dimensional array with 5 rows and 5 columns. And this is to assign 7 to this location at row index 2 and column index 1. You can use array initializer for two-dimensional array. This is array. We're gonna assign this rows, 3 rows, one more, 4 rows. Each row has 3 elements. This is equivalent to you create the array 4 rows and 3 columns, assign it to this array reference variable, and then you initialize each individual cell in the two-dimensional array. Now, for two-dimensional array, it is very convenient that we call this, the first one is the row index, and the second one is the column index. You can obtain the length of a two-dimensional array using this length attribute. So here is x.length. It gives you the number of elements in X. If X is two-dimensional array, X.length is the number of rows. So this is all the rows you have. X bracket 0 is one row, X bracket 1 is another, and the last one is X, and this the index is X.length minus 1. For example, if this is X is 3 rows and 4 columns, so this is what you see. X0 is array with 4 elements. How do you get this, the length of, for the column? You use X brackets 0 dot length, that's the number of elements in the first row. And this is the, all the elements are, all the rows have the same number of elements, so they're all 4. X brackets 0 dot length, X brackets 1 dot length, and X brackets 2 dot length, they're all the same. Rigid arrays. The rows may have different number of elements. So this is example. We define this as the triangle array. That's two-dimensional. And the first row has 5 elements, and the second has 4 elements. So they are not the same number of elements. So this is called the rigid array. In this rigid array, triangle array bracket 0 dot length is 5. Triangle array brackets 4, the last one is 1. That's all for this video. We will continue on the next video to introduce section 8.3, processing two-dimensional arrays.